Thank you, Delisa. It's time now to get into our first segment. We focus on the 10th Annual World AIDS Day, which is an event to celebrate life and to remember those who have passed away by AIDS-related illnesses. We welcome this morning Cayman AIDS Foundation representatives, both Stephanie Scott and Shireen Underwood. Stephanie is the president and Shireen is the vice president. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So let's start off with the basics. When is World AIDS Day? Stephanie, I'll start with you.
Okay, it's going to be held on the 30th of November. And the procession starts at 5 o'clock from the cricket pitch, and then it continues on to Hero Square, and then from Hero Square, that's when we'll have our ceremony.
Right. And we know that not just in Cayman, but worldwide, we always hear this word stigma. There's a stigma associated with AIDS. But what we really actually call this a celebration, and we're celebrating, the fact that we've had people in Cayman who have lived happy and healthy lives even with this illness. Why that focus on celebration, Shireen?
Because we have to celebrate the lives of these people. And those who have passed on, we have to remember that, the struggles they have been through. So we can't really just push it under the carpet. We have to really recognize that they were, going through a period. So we celebrate life and we celebrate that.
Right. And do we have statistics on what the Cayman AIDS population is looking like at the moment?
Well, currently we have 41 people who are infected with HIV. 27 people are infected with AIDS, and that is AIDS-related illnesses. And so far for 2012, we have 3 new HIV cases, and these are just known cases. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So knowing that those are the figures in such a small population, what is your message to the public?
We want to create some awareness. People need to know that this thing is actually in Cayman, and you can't fight something if you don't know about it. So we're pushing the education and awareness, and that's what we want to sensitize persons about.
Right, and I'll continue on that point. It's interesting that something that affects your health in such a major way is something that people tend not to speak about. You'd think that people would be desperate for the information, trying to get more. Why do you think that's the case, that we see this issue, become so hush-hush, even now in 2012?
Well, it's the association of promiscuity when it comes to HIV in terms of sex. So persons, they tend to shy away from that. So that creates fear because you hear all sorts of myths and misinformation, and there's misunderstanding. And whenever that happens, people usually run to fear, and with that fear it drives the ignorance, and then it's a whole cycle continuing. So we have to really get in there and break it. The more you know how to prevent it.
Absolutely. And I was reading up actually on some of the history of the Cayman AIDS Foundation, and you all sort of get people who actually have the disease involved. Is that the case? Or as much as you can? I know obviously people don't want their identity to be revealed, but is that part of the process?
Well, we do have members who do have HIV, and it's not to say that we try to get them to come out and talk about HIV and so forth, but when we do have them, it's like, okay, it's a support. Like, people know, okay, well, look, this is my status, I'm here, and I'm basically reaching out to other people who may have HIV as well, and I'm encouraging other people to go get tested, because once you do get tested, it increases your life expectancy. So it's not necessarily we reach out to HIV people alone. We reach out to the young. We reach out to the older people, and especially those who are sexually active, because HIV does not only just affect people who have HIV. It affects other people who don't have the disease, and that's what we're trying to push for.
Right. So along with this awareness campaign that you have going on all year, plus the procession that you have coming up this weekend, what else will be coming up for people that they should be aware of?
Well,
Well, we'll be having free testing at the Cayman AIDS Foundation, 22 Caymanian Village. It's on the 4th and the 6th of December. So persons can really come out and, get tested so you know your HIV status. We'll also have booth at the market at the grounds. So we'll be there in full force, and there are other events. We'll be doing some condom distributions at some of the nightclubs, because drinking and all of that, it promotes some sort of behaviors that we want to really limit in terms of sexual things.
Right. Thank you so much, Shireen and Stephanie, for joining us on Daybreak. We're out of time, but we want to encourage people to visit caf.ky, or you can also email info@caf.ky for more information. Also, an interesting statistic for you: over the past couple of years, between 2001 and 2011, children being born with the disease, with HIV/AIDS or AIDS-related diseases, has dropped by 20%. So that's some good news there for you. When we come back with more Daybreak, we return with a junior achievement company. Daybreak will be right back.